In meditation, the flow of energy is beautiful, orderly. If you are not meditative, energy would still flow, but in a diseased way, in a disorderly way. That is called suffering. Meditation is to be seated in the heart. Meditation is to be seated in total relaxation. Meditation is to be committed to peace. Then whatever gets done has a harmony about it. That's all. Even if you are not seated in peace, things will still get done, but they will be ugly. You will become an agent of destruction, chaos, suffering. Energy is no great secret. All that you see around yourself is energy. And if you can clearly see everything around yourself, the seeing is meditation. The tree is energy. When the tree is still, it is energy, and when the tree is dancing in the wind, it is still energy. You are energy. Entire universe is energy. But that energy can either take a beautiful form, or it can be like the dropping of a nuclear bomb. Depends on how peaceful you are. You see, if you can calculate the total energy of the winds all over the world, probably that energy is going to be far more than the energy of all the nuclear ammunition that mankind has made. If you can calculate the energy of all the tides that are all the time rising up and falling, that energy too is likely to be more than the energy of all the nuclear stockpile of all the nations of the world. So much energy God has released every moment upon this earth, the winds, the tides, the solar energy that is reaching you, and the energy contained in every human being, and the potential energy that is contained in all the material universe. If you pick up a stone, do you know the stone is condensed energy? The proof of that is that to dismember the stone, to really break open the stone into its constituent grains, you will require a lot of energy. The amount of energy that you really require to completely split a stone is exactly the same as the energy that is stored in the stone in the form of potential energy. So the entire universe is so much of energy, but that energy is creative, harmonious. You love it when the winds blow. You love it when the tides rise, ebb, fall. You love it when the sun shines. That is the orderly game of energy, because that energy comes from the God center. Whereas man cannot handle even a small fraction of that energy. What does man do when he releases his energy? You have a Hiroshima, you have a Nagasaki. God handles infinite energy with such precision. Do you know how many nuclear explosions are happening on the sun every moment? Do you know? But that is being handled so beautifully. You worship the sun, but would you worship a hydrogen bomb? The same hydrogen and helium there on the sun are life giving. The same hydrogen and helium, when dropped on a city, are life destroying. That is the difference between meditative behavior and non-meditative behavior. The behavior of God is a great example of the flow of energy in a meditative state. You get the earth, you get the sun, you get the winds, you get the rivers, the oceans, you get the entire universe, the creation. You can never say God is X or Y. But if you are in a mood to say that God is something, somebody, yes, you can say God is energy too. If you are feeling very inclined to somehow give a name to God or to assign some quality to God, just say God is energy too. All this energy can shrink back into God, and yet God will be there. He can suck up all the energy of the universe into one point. So you will see an energyless universe, which means the universe itself will disappear, but God will still be there. Were you not singing yesterday night? Ye zami jab na thi, asma jab na tha. Even when the earth and the skies were not there, that point was still there. The scriptures call that as Bindu. That is the God point. Space is not there, but even when space is not there, a point can exist. A point does not require space. So all this energy can be sucked back. It can return back into God. And then depending upon his mischief, his mood, his sweet will, one day again the energy can be released. And the game begins again. A new kalp, a new cycle begins again. Energy is out. Game on. Energy is God in motion. Meditation is God in relaxation. None of them describe God fully. But for our purposes, both are godly. In India, till the time a man is alive, you call it Leela. And when a man is gone, you call him lean. You say, he is now Brahmaleen. Leela is movement. Lean is non-movement. But both of them are still in God. If you are running around, dancing around, it is Brahm Leela. And if you are gone, lying absolutely still on the earth, then you are now Brahmaleen. But Brahm you always are, whether you move or whether you do not move. God is not created or destroyed. Your form is created and destroyed.